Good morning. Happy Tuesday. It is Lachelle Atkins, also known as America's Supermom, and I am here with you again at 5 a.m. Boy, is that early where I'm at, but I love it. It's quiet, don't have a lot of distractions, and I'm excited to be here today to talk about collections and connections. So it is Tuesday, and we have made it through the first day of the week, and it is summertime where I am. So it may not be officially the first day of summer. However, for me, my kids are out of school, so life is good. No lunches have to be packed and no clothes laid out or homework and all that. However, it is filled with, Mommy, can such and such come over? Can we go here? And when are we going out of town? All these different things. Because, all that time when your kids are in school, they are occupied and distracted of some sort, even though they may be learning. We're excited about them advancing. But, a lot of time and interaction takes place with other people in the classroom. And so, sometimes when summer hits, it is like they just are ridden with a lot of boredom. They don't want to clean or reorganize, or if they do, that's done in a day, and then you're trying to figure out something else to do. But anyway, we're not here to talk about kids and summer vacations. We're here to talk about collections and connections. So, this is a series that I've started for the month of June at 5 a.m. So, I have audio rooms on Mondays and Fridays on LinkedIn. And on Monday, I did LinkedIn and Clubhouse. And thank goodness, because half of my broadcast was in silence because I didn't have my mic open. So, it is early. All right. So, got to give myself some grace with that. But I'm excited to be here today and talk about more books. So, this series is really helping with self development. I have lots of books that is part of my collections. I collect a lot of things, but books is one that takes up a lot of space, a lot of time in my house. So I have an Amazon store, and I'm like, well, why don't I just go through the things that are in my Amazon store? So as I'm going through some of these books, they may not even be in the Amazon store. So after I get done, then I'm adding them to my store. But it's exciting because it's helping me get organized, believe it or not. So I first want to give a shout out to Mary Baker. Look what she sent me. These are some things to help me get organized with my collections. So it's a bunch of stickers that I can use for my calendars because I still use a paper calendar, y'all. I like digital stuff, but I don't know. Something about writing things down works for me. I just have to kind of see it. I don't know. Maybe I'm part visual, but um, I love that I have all these different stickers. And then my daughter, who was going through my stickers, my 11-year-old, she's like, "Look, mommy, you have one that's like America's Supermom." So I'm telling you, it's a good thing with branding when you get your kids engaged, or you have certain colors that you believe you're non negotiable on. People pick up on that, and eventually they'll start making you things. I had a lady who I met at an event. It was an event in the local park here, and so she had moved here from Vegas, and um, I just, took a liking to her, got her number and everything. We went out to eat a couple of times, and she's like, "You're so outgoing. I'm kind of shy and reserved." And she introduced me to her daughter. I did a podcast with her daughter because her daughter is a female in the trucking industry. So I'm going to put that video in the comments. So let me write that down because out of sight, out of mind, guys. So I have me some index cards so I can keep it short. But anyway, um, she is in the trucking industry, her daughter, and she does crocheting. So we met another time for lunch, And she brought me a hat. And so she said, "Oh my gosh, I forgot." She said, "I wasn't even thinking, but I should have made it red, white, and blue." But it was a crocheted hat that she had given me. And I was like, "Oh, it doesn't matter what color it is." But for her, after we had met so many times, then it dawned on her when we met in person again that she wanted to do it red, white, and blue. So, trucking industry video. Okay. So I'm writing this down. So you're seeing this in real time. Okay. So the first book that we're going to talk about is The Compound Effect. So Jumpstart Your Income, Your Life, Your Success by Darren Hardy. So this book, I have heard so many people talk about it, and I ended up doing a study on it with a connection of mine we started out on Clubhouse, and then we moved from Clubhouse to LinkedIn. So we were doing Compound Effect on both platforms. And it was really, really a good study because we were able to take time, digest what was being said. So with this series that I'm doing, I like to just take an excerpt out of each book and go through some of the highlights, um, because you can read the book, right? We're not about the reading part. But one of the things that he says here is this is on page 85. So he goes through the different things that are good for you to have this compound effect, for you to notice it in your life. So this section is Game Changer, 6 techniques for installing good habits. And so the first thing with that is set yourself up to succeed. So any new habit has to work inside your life and lifestyle. If you join a gym that's 30 minutes away, you won't go. If you're a night owl, but the gym closes at 6 p.m., it won't work for you. Your gym must be close and convenient and fit into your schedule. If you want to lose weight and eat healthier, make sure your fridge and pantry are stocked with healthy options. Want to make sure you don't binge on vending machine snacks when you get your midday hunger pangs? Keep nuts and healthy snacks in your desk drawer. The easiest thing to grab when you're hungry is empty carbs. One strategy I use is to have protein on hand. I cook up a bunch of chicken on Sunday and package it and have it ready for the week. So this is really the first step, setting yourself up to succeed. So as you examine what it is that you want to do, you want to think about, how can I ensure that I'm successful in this? Because a lot of times when we're talking about habits, we are going against something that is been more predominantly stronger. So let's take, for example, the weight loss. You've been on a habit of not watching your weight. So now anything you do against that is going to be an uphill battle. So if you know that it's uphill from the very beginning, what are some things that you can do to make it easier? And so this is something that we don't really examine. We just think, oh, I'm not where I want to be. Let me get there quickly. Instead of thinking about how can I strategize a way that I can do this and maintain it on a daily basis. So one of the things that we talked about yesterday in the audio room is thinking about making something so small that you can do it every day, right? That it just doesn't take a lot of time. And so if you do something where it takes 5 minutes or so, then it makes it easier for you to do it every day because it's only 5 minutes. So part of the way to kind of get yourself prepared for that is to think of ways that you can get that momentum. So another part of being productive in your day is productivity is about completing tasks, not putting a whole bunch of things on your checklist and thinking that you're going to get it all accomplished. It is the things that are on your checklist every day that actually get accomplished that give you more momentum. They build your confidence and everything else. So this is one of the reasons why starting your day and making your bed is so powerful because you are starting a task and completing it, and it takes less than 5 minutes to get it done. Now, if you have a lot of pillows, such as some people, where it's like, you've got all these pillows to decorate the bed, it may take a little longer. However, the finished product is something that feels really good to you. It's the biggest object usually in your bedroom. And so it makes quite an impact when you get it done. So you want to think about how many things on your list have a start and a completion. So what happens with many of us is we put projects on our list of things to do. And so at the end of the day, we feel defeated, we don't feel accomplished because a project is something that takes longer than 15 minutes, right? It's something that if we're not focused on doing it, we're not going to complete it usually in a day, especially if we have a whole bunch of projects on our list of things to do. So you want to make sure not to say that you can't have projects, because the only way that we can usually get projects done with ease is to do a little bit each day, right? So you do want to do a little bit each day, but you don't want to have a lot of projects on your day, because you want to start your day like a champion and end your day like a champion. Okay. So that's a great book suggestion. David Allen's book, Getting Things Done. So I have that book. I've started it and have not completed it. So that's a good book that we can look into. So the next book is The Richest Man in Babylon. Now, this is more of a classic, um, and it talks about how we can really manage our money, right? Um, I'm trying to think of one of the passages that I wanted to go to. This is real time, y'all. Um, that I can explain, but it's really like a um what do you call those? Fable, kind of like, where it's a story, and it has a different meaning. Um let me see here. I'm sorry. I'm trying to talk and I'm thinking, okay, the part that I want to read. All right. So, anyway, it's like a fable or something. It's going in time, so it's kind of like written in an archaic kind of way, but it's really a neat little story. So I gave this book to all my kids one year for Christmas. And if they read it, it probably would make a difference. All right. So he talks about 7 cures for a lean purse. So if you feel like money is just not coming in at the way that you want it to come in, this is a book that you might want to consider. And it only has this version 155 pages. So it's something you can read over a couple days. All right. So the third cure to a lean purse is make thy gold multiply. All right. Make thy gold multiply. It says, behold, thy lean purse is fattening. Thou hast disciplined thyself. You see what I'm saying? It's like old archaic type of grammar. Thou hast disciplined thyself to leave therein 1/10 of all thou earnest. Thou hast controlled thy expenditures to protect thy growing treasure. Next, we will consider means to put thy treasure to labor and to increase. Gold in a purse is gratifying to own and satisfies a miserly soul, but earns nothing. The gold we may retain from our earnings is but the start. The earnings it will make shall build our fortunes. So spoke our God upon the third day to his class. How therefore may we put our gold to work? My first investment was unfortunate, for I lost it all. It's a tale will relate later. My first profitable investment was a loan I made to a man named Agar, a shield maker. Once each year did he buy large shipments of bronze bought from across the sea to use in his trade. Lacking sufficient capital to pay the merchants, he would borrow from those who had extra coins. He was an honorable man. His he would repay, together with a liberal rental, as he sold his shields. So we're talking about being a lender, right? Allowing your gold to multiply. So instead of just having your gold sit somewhere around, you put that gold out in circulation, whether it's with investments, right? And so you make the gold multiply because you invest in things that earn income for you. So instead of just saying, okay, I want to buy um, some new clothes, or I want to buy a vehicle, right? You want to invest in things that are going to add additional income from that purchase. So if I want to buy a vehicle, one way that I can um, allow that to make money for me is I'm just using basic examples, is to be an Uber driver, because as an Uber driver, I can earn additional income. I could also rent my vehicle out. So maybe I have a luxury vehicle that I rent out. They have these things now where you can uh, not only rent out your houses like Airbnb, but you can rent your cars out as well. So I could rent the car out. I could create opportunities to travel in the car, right? So, or, if I got a charter bus, I can make a charter bus of some sort. If I had a van, something larger where I can charter trips and charge people for them. So, you see where I'm going. The point is, it's not just regularly driving a vehicle, but how can this vehicle earn money for you? Same thing. You purchase a house and maybe you want to purchase a rental property. The rental property earns income that pays the mortgage. And over time, when that mortgage is paid completely, then it's income for you. Okay. So that's The Richest Man in Babylon. All right. And I have another book here, trying to make sure that I stay on time. Okay, this is Do It Yourself Direct Marketing Secrets for Small Business. I love marketing, y'all. So that was what I got my degree in. And I love looking at old ways of thinking, because a lot of the books that I read are about principles, right? So principles stay the same, but a lot of the technology changes. There's a lot of things that change in order to keep us moving forward. But, you know, nothing changes when it comes to laws and principles, right? So a law is like, you have a baby, or you find out you're expecting, which my son is and my daughter-in-law are expecting another baby. They just told everybody on Sunday. So hard to keep that a secret. So they told us, and they were like, well, we haven't told anybody yet. So I'm glad that they only told us a couple days before, because it's so hard to keep a secret, right? But anyway, especially with our family. But, if you're having a baby, usually the gestation period is 9 months, right? I can't really decide that I'm going to have a baby and then have the baby the next day, right? Not unless I'm adopting or fostering or something of that nature. But just in terms of gestation, it is a 9 month period. So when you think about a lot of the principles, they just don't change. And so this is really the problem that a lot of people run into when it comes to the mindset of getting rich quick, or um, really sometimes getting scammed about things, because they're so excited about a goal or aspiration that they want to accomplish, but they're not necessarily thinking about the laws or principles that are at play, right? So you don't plant a seed today and then reap a harvest tomorrow. There's just certain things that it's a law, right? Uh, of nature, or whatever the case is. And so we can allow our lust of desire to have something the next day really cause us to make some bad decisions because we really want something so bad that we're willing to do anything to get it. However, it's really not making sense because it's not logical, right? And so we get people to appeal to that emotion and we end up buying things and then later on regretting it. All right. So this is how it goes with a lot of the things with marketing, right? There's things that we can do in marketing now. We might have a different method, right? So I'm a sales consultant for Mary Kay. So Mary Kay has gone through so many transitions, at least as long as I've been in it. Got into it because, my kids, I have 9 daughters, and it's all about the makeup. You go to the store and it's like, what? This makeup? I cannot believe they're charging this much. So that's how I got into Mary Kay because I was like, I have these daughters. It's always a pageant, or they have cheerleading, or something that they're doing that they need makeup. And I thought, this is crazy. We're going to buy our own. And so that's how I really got into it. But it was like an on and off thing because, I was going through this whole thing of moving up in the company and time away from the kids. It was just crazy. So needless to say, I've been in it like 3 times, but I'm in it now. But the point is, it started out where you would have these in-house facials. And so you'd have people come over, which you still do. However, now, because of time and changing, you can do a facial virtually. So now it's a virtual thing. We have you got a website now, right? A lot of these things have changed over time because this is what's going on right now in order to stay relevant. You have credit cards, right? That go along with Mary Kay. So there's so many different things that have evolved with the times. However, the principles stay the same. The principle is that if you don't ask anybody or tell anybody about your business, they're not going to know, right? And so that's a part of marketing. Marketing is really just making people aware that you're out there, right? We can't just expect people to know what we do and how we serve. I mean, how many people are in this world? It's not on our forehead, and we are not constantly talking about it by any means, right? A lot of us try to avoid it. You go to a networking event. Oh, I don't know. I don't want to sound salesy, but you're not telling them anything, right? So it's kind of like, you're in a catch 22. But anyway, these principles, they are the same. These are some things that you could think, how can I modernize these things? It's no different than renovating your house. You have a house that you've had for years and you just want to spruce it up. You're not changing the location of your address, but you're just renovating the inside or the outside or whatever you choose to do. All right, so the power of letters, chapter 11, right? This is powerful, direct person-to-person communication, okay? And it talks about when you are able to send people things directly, this is really what can leave a lasting impression, right? Because I think a lot of times, people just don't do that enough, right? We're so caught up in texting or social media, but you really have the least amount of competition when you send stuff in the mail, right? So, just case in point, right? When Mary sent me these stickers, you know, now that a lot of things are online, it is a celebration a lot of times if you are sending something through the mail because it's something with the endorphins, right? So I'm in another direct marketing business called Send Out Cards. And so Send Out Cards is customized greeting cards that you can send to your clients, family, friends, all from the comforts of your phone, yeah, or your computer without having to go to the post office. And it's customized. You can use photos from anywhere and Facebook, any social media platform, and customize the card that way. So usually what happens for me is taking photos from Facebook or LinkedIn or wherever they post them and adding them as graphics on the card. So the concept is the cards are really like thick. I should have had an example, but I'll work on having that. But the cards are really thick enough with a higher cardstock feel so that they stand up when you put them up on a mantle or something. And so usually when things are customized, it has someone's face or family member or something. That's something that they want to display. All right. So this is a great way that you can um, move beyond that. So this is saying that I'm having trouble on LinkedIn. Gotta love technology. So anyway, it tells you how to organize a letter because when you are doing things certain ways, it has a great impact for the recipient. So it tells you when you're organizing a letter. So we're talking probably either DMs or email. Make sure you have a headline and a lead. Okay. So use the first few paragraphs to attract the most attention. This is with the headline. Make sure you have a boxed introduction. So instead of a headline, copywriters begin a letter with a short paragraph on headline likes or a headline like statement enclosed in a box at the top of the letter. It goes below the company name on the letterhead and above the address and salutation. And then it talks about having a postscript and all this. This is important because oftentimes today, with our youth, they don't even know how to address a letter, right? Because we have been so much on digital platforms, even with the writing or penmanship. A lot of these things are being lost because we are focused on doing things quickly and online. So you have less competition when you decide that you do want to put something in the mail. So this is something to um, think about, you know, going through some of these things and recognizing how you can move your business forward with the principles, but also modernizing them in some way. And so it talks to you about organizing the letter. It talks about copywriting. Another thing is envelope teasers, it says. Um, Most envelope teasers are a guarantee that nothing but advertising lurks inside. This can be particularly ticklish in business mailing, where you want your envelope to get out of the mailroom and past the secretary. If poorly constructed, teasers can cause unrealistic expectations, which result in disappointed, possibly angry readers. So, this is something to be mindful of. You know how you get the things in your mail with the car key, right? So for some people, that could be a good thing. Oh my gosh, this is exciting. Maybe they're in the market for a new car. And so this is just right up their alley. But if you have somebody else that may not be in the market for a vehicle, feel like they can't afford it or whatever, and it ends up being a dead end, right, with this key, that could be very disappointing. So you want to make sure that you're in alignment with your brand and who you're serving in such a way so that it's exciting, right? So, um, stickers were exciting for me to open up. So, this is do it yourself direct marketing, right? And so, these books really, you can read it from start to finish, but they're more reference, right? It's something that you can go back into later on and figure out how you can apply a lot of these principles with your daily routine of how you do things. So, also want to give a shout out to Gail Speck Camp. So, I was telling you I have a lot of collections. Well, she got me this cup, America's Supermom. Isn't that cute? So, you should always have water. That's another thing when you're doing a live stream because you never know. It never fails. We get choked up or coughing or something. So, have your water close by. And water is something you need to be drinking. I could have coffee or tea, but Nothing is the best substitute for water. Okay. So, all right, guys. Well, we are at the end of our time. I want to thank you so much for watching. The books are Do It Yourself Direct Marketing, Richest Man in Babylon, and The Compound Effect. And I pray that you have a prosperous and productive day today. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow again at 5 a.m. So if you're not an early riser, it is okay because there's a replay. You can simply watch it whenever your schedule allows. So thank you so much for joining those who did join live. And when you do watch, remember to put in the comments, what are some of your favorite books? Where are you tuning in from? What is your passion? This is definitely an opportunity for us to make some great connections. So that is all I have for today. Have a phenomenal day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye for now.